record. We are recording. Welcome, beautiful ladies. I'm so excited to host our monthly Women's Circle all about essential oils. I'm so excited that you are here. And I'm literally, I was just saying to the ladies, I've just rolled out of my shower and I can't believe I got into this call with like soaking wet hair like this. And I actually realized like in our household, everything is essential oils, like from the conditioner to my shampoo, to my deodorant, to all the things, everything is just natural. And this is actually one of the reasons why I was so excited to host today's topic about feminine hormones, because I mean, I just need to get started ASAP because I don't even know if I can complete everything that we're about to share. Thank you so much. Malka just said I look beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm just going to pull up my PowerPoint. So let me see if I can share my screen. And if you ladies could let me know if you can see. Can everyone see? Awesome. So let me just get this out of the way. So this is a lovely PowerPoint. Welcome to the Balance Your Feminine Hormones with Essential Oils. I'm so excited that you are here. I have so much to tell you. It's like unbelievable. There's just so many things about this topic that I am passionate about. And well, I've been around essential oils for almost 6 years now. So if you've known me for a while, you've always known like Lizzie's the essential oil lady. She's always the one who knows all the things about essential oils. And I really have to say, this is actually one of my absolute favorite topics, feminine hormones, especially how to support our feminine hormonal balance. It's so important, right? So I am super excited about this call because I really believe that it is actually one of the things that we all have in common because we're all women, and because there's so many things that I want to share with you that I have received from other powerful women. So it's really all about education. It's about knowing what is healthy, knowing that we do have options, knowing how to empower ourselves with our own health, right? Really taking charge of our own health as far as we can. And so today's topic really lies especially close to my heart. Yeah, because I've just supported myself with essential oils and my own feminine hormone household. And I've also been able to transmit so much wisdom and education around this topic, around the women in my close circle and my, women in my family. And I am now so ready to share with you the things that I've learned. Well, some of the things, because it's a huge topic. And I might have to segue into other classes to really go deeper into the different subjects that I'm going to be touching upon tonight. So a quick class summary, we're going to go into a very short intro about the basics of essential oils. You will receive a link to access all the replays of these women's circles, as well as other educational resources. So in there, I'm going to go into a lot more depth, right? We're going to look into the feminine fertility cycle. We're going to look into what are the interrupting factors of our feminine hormonal household. And then we're going to be looking, we're sort of going to be jumping back and forth between science and essential oil usage on a day-to-day basis. Please do share any questions you may have in the chat or down below here if you're watching the replay. And yeah, even just feedback or ideas or anything that you have experienced. I would love to see this class be as interactive as possible. And so, yeah. And I'll also be giving you lots of examples on how to use essential oils on a day-to-day basis as it pertains to the topic of today. And at the end, we'll have a quick Q&A and open discussion. I might also stop the PowerPoint here and now and then just to kind of check in with you to see how everyone is doing, if you're assimilating, if there's questions and things like this, okay? So a quick run and basics about essential oils. What is an essential oil? Why is it important? Why does it matter? So as you know, I've been using essential oils for over 6 years now, and I'm super passionate about them, specifically about how they work and why they work, right? And also, so essential oils are basically compounds that come from the distillation process of plants. So we are really looking at compounds that are actually the immune system of the plant, and they're little satchels of oil that are positioned on the plants in order to protect them from different adverse conditions out in the environment, of different diseases that they might have, different parasites, so that the plant can actually rebuild and renew itself. What is really incredible about essential oils is that because they are natural compounds, and this is really where quality becomes so important, because they are natural compounds, our body actually assimilates and recognizes these compounds and understands how to orientate and direct them inside our bodies, right? Whether that's physically, emotionally, or mentally, okay? So today we're going to be talking a lot about certain physical conditions as well as emotional conditions. That's really, the big gist of feminine hormonal balance, although there is a whole mental aspect to this. But I really had to choose today to, really, fine tune as much as possible so that our class is not going to end up 3 hours long. So if you want to know more about how essential oils work, how you can use them, etc., please hop into the online school on my oil box, on the My Oil Box online school, because there you will have a whole course all about the basics of essential oils, and I will go a lot deeper into the science and all the background. Okay, so this is really just, we're skimming the surface. Why does quality matter? Well, actually, for me, quality is the absolute point that matters the most, because I really want to make sure that those essential oils that I'm putting into my body are actually not toxic, that there's no fillers, no pesticides that would be, interfering with the actual natural benefits of the plants and, the quality of the product that I'm getting. And this is going to be super important with the topic that I'm going to present to you today. So why I love doTERRA? Well, there's many reasons why I love doTERRA, but one of the main reasons why I love doTERRA really is that I can absolutely sleep safe and sound, knowing that the quality of the essential oils that I'm using, as well as all the products that they offer, are absolute high standard. Okay, for me, I've tried many essential oils. I have never come across essential oils that had the purity and the quality that doTERRA's essential oils have, because they're tested about 15 times each drop before they go into the bottle. They are a little more expensive than the ones that you will find out in the shops, and there's reasons for that. Again, there's more about that in the class. And one of the main things is that these essential oils, you can actually use them aromatically, topically, and internally as well. So there's essential oils out in the market that you can use absolutely for aromatic purposes, maybe even topical purposes, but definitely never internally. Whereas doTERRA's essential oils actually as pure as possible. So they are completely pure. You can actually take them internally as well. Not all of them, there's rules to this. So please do go and watch the introduction class about the basics of essential oils to know more about this if you're completely new to essential oils. Okay, so question to you ladies, what is the importance of hormonal balance for women? What is it about? And I want to kind of stop my PowerPoint here for a little bit and bring you all into the conversation, and let's have a discussion about this. Why do you think that essential oils are so important? Like hormonal balance, not essential oils, feminine hormonal balance is so important. What is sort of coming to mind, Laura?
Yeah, I was looking actually last year in this topic as well. So if your hormones are all in balance, you feel actually really good during your cycle. Of course, you will have the ups and downs because of the cycle, but you will have as much, let's say, power or energy that you actually need to get good through the cycle, and that your body is actually working good. Because if you have especially like too much estrogen in your body, actually then your body is not really functioning, and then you have problems. You might have a problem like actually getting your period. Like, yeah, a lot of things can be wrong there. And if everything is in balance, then yeah, you just feel so much better.
I love this, Lala. You will love today's class. This is so good. Yes. What
And
else?
also what I learned too,
Yes, go.
eat a lot of green veg, especially salad, because this is getting out like the old hormones and helping to produce the new ones.
Exactly. I love it. I love that I have such educated ladies in this group. This is so good. Anything else that comes to mind? Why are feminine hormonal balance? Like, why is it important?
Well, it seems to me, you know, as I'm 36 and I'm still, you know, in my menstrual phases of life, that, you know, balancing my hormones at this point in my life hopefully will ease anything like when I start to go through menopause or something like that. So this is something that I'm really interested in, to alleviate any like PMS symptoms, but also to become aware of like my fertility cycles and how I can support myself like during different periods of the month, like ovulation and, you know, when I'm PMSing and that sort of thing, and hoping that I can just build my system for a better future for what happens in the women's body, which is very unique.
Yes, I love that, Lindsay. Thank you so much for your share. Malka, I'm feeling you ready to rumble.
Oh yeah, I had to like hold back. Everybody said such beautiful things. So I'm like with Lindsay on this. I'm in my early 40s and I'm already feeling my body's changing emotionally and physically, the way that I heal, the way that I just like everything is changing, the way that I move. So yeah, I mean, I've obviously done a lot of research on menopause, perimenopause, hormones, the moon cycle, the menses, PMS systems, everything else that's that's included in the reproductive organs and as being a woman. So yeah, I have a lot to say, and I had a big journey with my own menstrual cycle. Had very intense symptoms until I started oils and taking care of my diet. So yeah, I mean, low libido, weight gain, fatigue, brain fog. Just if you don't have your hormonal balance, it affects basically all your organs physically, which then obviously affects the way that you perceive the world, your emotions, your mental capacities, the way that you focus at work. I've noticed that my focus and concentration is much less in my attention span. So yeah, I mean, I can go on, but we're here to listen to the teacher. So
thank you so much, Malka.
So, you're welcome.
Share. And I'm so excited because today I will literally be touching upon all of the different points that you've already brought up, and I'm super, super excited. So let's dive right in, shall we? So let's go. So let me just bring back my PowerPoint. So here we are. So yes, you've already mentioned quite a few things, and I'm so grateful. So here we go. Indeed, there's just so much that goes into hormonal balance. Our hormones affect pretty much every single thing in our body, all the endocrine functions, whether that's, you know, other hormonal releases that are happening in our bodies, whether that's, you know, our whole organs that would be affected, our sleep, our mental capacity, our emotional well-being, all the things, right? And I mean, as a woman today, in today's society specifically, I mean, I'm just really looking at the image on the right here. We are juggling with so much, right? We're juggling our careers, we're juggling our babies, we're juggling all the people that we take care of, most of us. You know, we have biological clock ticking going on for some of us as well. So, you know, the different safety aspects of our lives, like everything that we have to literally take care of. And then also our whole health and well-being. It's a lot to handle, right? Like being a woman in this world and in this day and age where everything is so busy and so supercharged on stimulation, it is such an incredible important point for us to remember that we actually have bodily functions that do require our care and that do require our attention deeply, right? So that we can actually show up as the powerful women that we desire to show up as. And that also includes every single cycle, because as you've already mentioned, beautiful ladies, we are completely unique at every age, right? Like what we needed as teenagers is something completely different that we need in perimenopause, even, you know, menopause or postmenopause, right? When we're going into fertility, when we're going into birth control, when we're going into our sex life, like all the things, everything, like a whole evolution as women is tied to our body changing over time. And these bodily alterations and transformations do require a different set of self-care steps, right? So each stage of a feminine evolution requires a different way of dealing with things. And it's just so important for us to just already have the awareness, and you already have this awareness, which is beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to go into a little bit more depth into the female fertility cycle. You've probably seen this before. So, you know, during our menstruation, we have a whole cycle that sort of runs from menstruation to menstruation, right? And in between, we have the ovulation phase. So we have different phases that we actually, you know, position ourselves in through the month. And they actually, you know, some teachers actually talk about, you know, the fall, the winter, the spring and the summer, right? So that we have really 4 phases through which we actually journey through each and every single month. And so these phases also are accompanied with a very specific way on how our hormones peak and descend throughout the month. So if we have, you know, say pretty much natural female fertility cycle where we don't become pregnant, right? We just are menstruating. We have the estrogen that starts to peak towards ovulation. When, you know, when the egg is released out of our ovaries, the estrogen level drops and the progesterone rises, right? If we become pregnant, then the progesterone just keeps rising. And at some point also the estrogen will pick up. Most of us, you know, when we're going through a normal monthly cycle, at the end of our cycle, the progesterone is going to drop at the same time when we are actually shedding the egg and the stem cells with our menstruation. So here already, you can really imagine that the body is being flushed, right? It's like a tidal wave of hormones coming in, you know, on like in each of these phases. And at the end of the cycle, all of these hormones, actually the stimulation and the release of those hormones drops. But then what happens to these hormones? They have to go somewhere, right? Because at the end, if, you know, the release drops and then it starts to rise again, naturally the body should be able to release those hormones. So where do they get released? Does anyone know? What is the organ that takes care of hormones once they have completed their cycle? And
the liver.
Yes, exactly, the liver. Okay. So this is why it's absolutely important that we have a very, you know, as healthy as possible, a healthy liver function as much as possible. I'm going to go into this in a little bit. So we can absolutely support our feminine well-being naturally, and it doesn't need to be complicated, right? And one of the first things to do is already to just have the awareness, right? As soon as we have the awareness, then we can change things, we can modulate things, we can support we can support our body to do this. Okay. Now, another thing that I really want to talk to you more about today is actually xenoestrogens. Okay. So what are xenoestrogens? Xenoestrogens are a type of xenohormone that actually imitate estrogen. Okay. And they can be either synthetic or natural chemical compounds. So they can also be found in plants, but the ones that we really want to talk about are the synthetic xenoestrogens today, because they are actually included, you know, in some widely used industrial compounds such as PCB, BPA, phthalates, And, they have actually estrogenic effects on living organisms, even though they differ chemically from the estrogenic substances produced internally by the endocrine system of any organism. So basically, xenoestrogens actually, just coming back to the presentation, they actually mimic the hormone of estrogen. Now imagine, normally our body is going to be shedding a specific number, or a specific quantity of estrogen throughout the cycle. It will decrease and then it continues to drop, right? But what happens if we are actually exposed to xenoestrogens, especially a lot of them, and they basically accumulate in the body and they never drop, they never can be fully released, right? And we're going to be looking into how to support our body in releasing them. But before we go there, I really want to talk to you about the top 7 xenoestrogen sources. Maybe you've already heard some of them. If you know them, you can type them in the chat box. I would love for you to already start to have a conversation around this in the chat box if you like. So which ones are the most prevalent xenoestrogen sources, right? So the first one is cleaning products. And you would really never think about this because it's like, well, cleaning products, they're just, like cleaning products, right? They should be good for us. Actually, no, right? Like most of the cleaning products that we find in households are actually highly toxic. And even, to the extent that they actually they mimic, again, they have a huge content of xenoestrogens, and we really want to try to stay away specifically from highly chemical cleaning products. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is tap water, right? Because tap water is actually not always completely filtered. It's impossible for them to filter them, and they have to add additives and different chemical compounds in order to make sure that the water is drinkable, has no bacteria. But the problem with that is that then we also find these hormone interrupters that are actually chemical and also toxic at long term. And also tap water, and a lot of the water residue out that you will find, even if you go, say, bathing in a river or just any natural water that runs everywhere in the world, is actually highly charged with xenoestrogens. Because just imagine, we are probably the highest medicated society that has ever existed to this day, right? The amount of people that we know in our surroundings that are on medication literally for life, right? So imagine, where does this medication get flushed out? Through our urine, right? So our urine will end up in the drainage, but the problem is that drainage will have to go somewhere. It'll start sickering through our soil, and our soils are also now highly charged in chemicals that we actually are ingesting. So even if you were just looking at the numbers of women that take the BC, so the birth control pill, right, the BCP, just imagine how much of these chemicals will have to be flushed out somewhere, right? So we basically are living in an environment that is becoming heavier and heavier in xenoestrogen. Okay, another one, pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides. So this is why it's so important for us to also consider, like Laura, you were talking about eating lettuce before. Well, let's consider eating as much as possible organically, avoiding pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, right? Because all of these will be interrupters for our very, sensitive feminine flow of hormones. Another one, commercial meat and dairy, and specifically processed foods all over the shop, like specifically processed, like a lot of processed foods that we have. I mean, just look at cows, just look at the way that they, look after animals. Like animals are heavily injected with hormones in order to stimulate their growth. But the issue with that is that those hormones, they will not be flushed out, they will end up on our plate. So it's just important for us to realize this. Specifically, dairy is like, I mean, there's a lot of research on this, and you can look it up yourself. There's a documentary that I watched many years ago, which is called Cowspiracy. And in Cowspiracy, they talk about dairy quite a bit and how, you know, the milk is coming from, you know, the breast of like the udders of the cow. And so it also includes, I mean, it's supposed to include immune boosting agents for the baby cow, so the calf, to receive in the body, okay? The issue with estrogens, like cows that are actually highly injected with different growth hormones, where does this end up? It ends up creating a lot of lymph inside of the cow, especially the mothers of the cows. And that lymph, which is normally what is also included in cow milk, is actually supposed to be, you know, healthy lymph and supposed to be passed down into the calf so that the calf can grow and, you know, develop strong bones, develop strong immune functions, etc. But the issue is that now those cows' lymphs are actually like lymphatic liquids are completely saturated with estrogens, right? And other like growth hormones that they receive. And so that is then being passed down into the calves, okay? Which is most of the time the meat that we actually have ending up on our plate, as well as milk, just simple cow's milk, and even you know, goats and sheep milk to a certain extent, if it's not organic, and if you can't fully tell that the you know, those products will not be injected, like those animals will not be injected with growth hormones or just any other medication that they give them, because I mean, you know, let's just skip to the next topic because it's just such a cruel yeah, industry that I don't want to get passionate over this on this call, but I just want to, you know, pass on the information so that you can make your own research and make up your own mind. Okay. Another one, beauty products, personal care products, and all kinds of cosmetics, specifically parabens. And I was shocked years ago. I believe Leah, we went, we were in the south of France and we wanted to buy some sunscreen. I still remember this. It was like one of our holidays that we went to in the south of France. And we were shocked that even the, you know, the super expensive sunscreen that we were trying to buy from the pharmacy that was an organic brand was full of parabens, right? And at the time, I didn't know that much yet about parabens and just knew that they weren't healthy, and we were kind of avoiding to, you know, use deodorants with parabens and things like that. But parabens are really nasty, like for everything that is connected with xenoestrogen. And so you really have to think about all kinds of beauty products, all kinds of makeup. There's a high chance that they will either be made with animal products or that they will have parabens, right? And parabens are basically chemical compounds that they use for makeup to actually last very long, okay? And all kinds of personal care products you would probably not think of, like you know, a hand cream, or even perfumes to a certain extent. Actually perfumes, I'll talk about that in a moment. Another one, plastic containers and all kinds of plastic storage, especially the ones containing BPA or that are not BPA free, you really want to stay away from. And unfortunately, that also includes our classic water bottles that you know, buy, or all kinds of drinks that you can buy, or you know, cans. All foods that you will find in plastic containers will have, to a certain extent, these xenoestrogens leaching into the food that we then consume. Okay. Is this the last one? Yes, the last one. Air fresheners, candles, and perfumes. I mean, the amount of people, and I used to use them as well, like, you know, those candles that smell good, or even air fresheners that you just like plug in and you're like, oh, this is amazing, my whole house smells amazing. Well, please, you know, consider it twice before you get any of these in the future, because there's a high chance that they will be really like wrecking or adding to the toxic load of your already overcharged and overloaded beautiful feminine body. Okay. And perfume specifically, I mean, I know somebody in an upline in doTERRA, she actually she has to travel a lot, and she will wear these special like masks all the way through the airport, because whenever you're going through the duty-free shops, right, or you're just walking past their perfume shops, you will actually receive a whiff of these chemical compounds that actually will then start to interrupt the flow of your feminine hormonal balance. Okay. So before we move on, are we still okay? I know it's quite a bit, and it's overwhelming. Like when I saw this in the beginning, I thought, oh my goodness, this is overwhelming. Like, how can we even avoid this? Like, right? What are your thoughts about this? Like, let me just stop the share for a moment. Are we okay? Yes. I know it's quite, I mean, again, this is a class to inform you, to offer you support, right? And to offer you just information so that, because when we know, then we can make our options and we can choose differently, okay? So let's get back into it. So yeah, and the research has really shown that teenagers, and especially women in their 20s, especially nowadays, are much higher at risk for irregular menstrual cycles, for polycystic ovarian syndrome, for symptoms of PMS, PMDD, cramps, acne, and so on, okay? Because imagine for, you know, those past 50 or 100 years where we have been overcharging our environment with all of these toxic products, right? It has accumulated over time. So of course, this is all being passed down to the younger generations, which is like another reason why we really need to be aware of this, and we really need to inform the women around us. Like, we are natural communicators, we're natural educators and caretakers, right, and nurturers. So let's also take care of the, you know, the future generations, not just, you know, our own generation, but actually spread this information as much as possible so that more women can put their hands on this subject and actually can reclaim their health and well-being, right, with natural alternatives. So I really wanted to add this one here because I just love this meme with I believe it's Zena, like, I do not have PMS, but it truly is that. Like, we will probably most likely be affected by this, even if we are not aware of it, right? Okay, so how can essential oils help? And this is really the part that I'm super excited about, because there are alternatives, and we can definitely be the change makers. We can be the influencers, bringing in a new lifestyle, right? So really, a holistic lifestyle to me is the one and only that I want to be living by as much as possible. So here you really see, you know, healthy diet, making sure that we detox our body properly. And essential oils really can support us on this journey, which is just so beautiful. And I've literally completely changed my whole lifestyle these past 2 years. And I'm so thankful that I have had this information and that I was able to, yeah, just take another decision for myself, right? For my own well-being, and also for my family and my friends and my close loved ones, and now also my clients, right? I really believe that when we have, you know, everything in our environment to support us, we actually can create a whole different lifestyle, and we can also inspire the future generations to step into our shoes and to begin to say no to the things that are toxic, right? Not from a place of you're not allowed to do this, but actually from a place of empowerment, from a place of inspiration and education. Okay, so with doTERRA, you have a whole range of cleaning products that you can tap into. We also make our own cleaning products here at home. We really try to avoid as much as possible toxic products. I mean, there's just so many recipes also online where you can make your own soap. You can make your own window cleaner. There's just such a huge variety of possibilities. And doTERRA have, you know, really had the amazing idea to build, like, to design products for, you know, laundry, like for your hand wash, for example. You have a cleaner concentrate. There's also these like hand sanitizers now, and it's all in the On Guard range. So On Guard really has the qualities of actually supporting our immune system. So not only do they provide products that are actually chemically free, but they also support our immune system and actually add into the well-being, overall well-being. Okay. Liver health. There's so many ways in how we can detox our livers, right? And essential oils can definitely be a huge aid on this specifically. So here I put Zendocrine. This is one of the beautiful blends with doTERRA. There's also, you can put 1 or 2 drops of lemon essential oil in the water in the morning and drink that in order to really support your liver and make sure that the liver is functioning well and is actually, flushing out those hormones, those excess hormones, right? And excess toxic load out of the body, okay? So I've also talked a lot about citrus essential oils in our last class. I've also, went more in depth into how to cleanse the liver in there. But I might actually just do a full detox women's circle at some point because it's just such a deep topic and it's so interesting as well. Then we also have some oils that actually can help us with weight loss or with managing our appetite, managing just different ways on how to detox the body and regulate our digestive tract. So Smart and Sassy is one of them. Here on the image it says Slim and Sassy, but it's now called Smart and Sassy because they changed the brand name recently. So here again you have some citrus oils that will be in there. You have cinnamon that actually stimulates certain body functions. You have peppermint, lemon, ginger. Those are really soothing also for your digestive tract because it's not just about the liver, it's also about having a healthy digestive tract and making sure that, those, because really what you have to understand is that hormones, when they don't get flushed out, and especially toxic load, if it doesn't get flushed out, in order for the body to protect itself, it will actually create like an envelope of fatty cells around it and store it into the fatty tissue so that it's away from the rest of the body. Okay, this is usually why, we will sometimes experience putting on weight, right? It's because we actually have excess hormones that are not being flushed through the liver properly. So what the liver will do, it will call, the fatty cells in, wrap them up and store them away for later so that they can deal with them later. Okay, so this is something to remind yourself also when you're going into heavy detoxes that your body's basically going to go and get all of those old toxins and they will have to be flushed out of the body. So let's really support our body to flush out as many hormones as possible as they come through rather than waiting until later. Okay, so phytoestrogen, this is actually one of our friends, okay? So phytoestrogens, what are they? They are compounds that naturally occur in plants. So if you eat fruits, veggies, legumes, or some grains, you actually can get phytoestrogens from your diet. So phyto is the Greek word meaning plant. Estrogen is a female hormone that regulates functions in both women and men. So men can also benefit from having a healthy intake of phytoestrogens. And so when we eat phytoestrogens, our body may respond as if our own estrogen were present. What is also important to remember is that phytoestrogens help the body to regulate, the balance of its own estrogen. So it works almost like a broom through the body and, basically drags out those excess estrogens that we no longer need, okay? And phytoestrogens actually support our body with many other things, okay? So what can they do for our health? So a plant-based diet is very rich in natural phytoestrogens in healthy amounts, especially from soy, okay? And again, it's very important to remember, not from processed soy. It's got to be, non-processed soy such as tempeh or, soya sprouts, for example, okay? So because actually processed soy is not good because it actually creates xenoestrogens instead of phytoestrogens, okay? To a limited extent, phytoestrogens could serve as a type of natural hormone replacement therapy. This is going to be especially important for perimenopause and menopause, but also beforehand, it can, really support that because if we are actually flushed over with xenoestrogens and we don't have our, our body might stop to produce estrogens after some time. So some, women actually struggle with actually not having enough estrogen, and there's different reasons for that, okay? So it can be used as a hormone replacement therapy, and it's especially the case with phytoestrogen supplements, okay? Other potential benefits of phytoestrogens currently being further investigated by researchers include, so here you have a little list of what this includes. You can, please go and do your own research, okay? You can go on PubMed, you can go on other, studies, websites where all of this is being currently studied. Also, a little, side note is most of the doctors that are out, that have studied the education that they receive, most of them is about 10 to 15 years old, which means that all these new research investigations and results might not actually be included in those books that they are studying on. So that's why it's important that we all really remember and understand that it's important to do also our own research and to go look what are the scientists actually working on right now, because it's highly likely that the doctors that you're seeing, especially if they're like the older generation, but even the younger generation, might actually not even know about these things, which is a sad thing. But it's the truth, right? So some of the things that, I don't have to read it, but really one of the things that I do want to say is, prevention of breast, colorectal and endometrial cancer. These are really important, and it's therefore also only the more important that we also have education around this, that we go do our research and see, okay, what has actually been done, because there's been so many of them. I've literally read, probably tens of hundreds of research and studies, because it's just so interesting. Okay, so doTERRA have developed a really beautiful women's health kit, which is all about creating feminine balance. So one of the oils that is included in this one, it's actually a blend. It's called Clary Calm, which includes, different essential oils to actually support your hormonal balance, but also mood support. Okay, we'll talk more about mood support in a moment. But Clary Calm really is amazing. Like, I've actually used it yesterday because I was on my moon, and it really helps me to release my cramps. So sometimes I have PMS symptoms, just like menstrual cramps. So I just put it on my lower belly, and literally within minutes, I can feel my body just relaxing. Okay. Clary Calm is also really beautiful to use on a daily basis if you're experiencing, brain fog or things like, depressive mood states and things like this. You can just apply them on your wrists and literally smell it throughout the day. You can use it as perfume. Also for hormonal regulation, especially in perimenopause and menopause, it's advised to apply it on your big toe every morning. Okay, the big toe. Why? Because essential oils really work a lot with reflexology points, and the big toe is basically the parallel meridian to your brain. Okay, so everything that's brain related or nervous system related, we always want to apply our essential oils to the big toe. Okay. So then there's another one that's called the Bone Nutrient Complex. This one is really beautiful to support women on their journey into perimenopause, but also before. These actually can be taken by women in all ages. Okay. So, from teenage years to fertility to, even pregnancy. Well, of course, consult your doctor before you do any of these things when you're pregnant, or consult, like, you can ask me as well. I can't really make any claims here, and I can't say that it's, absolutely good for certain things, because I'm just very mindful of being compliant with the different languaging that is being used, also because of the FDA and all these things. Like, I don't want to go much more deeply into that topic, but I just want to say, like, all the things that I'm saying here, they are not suggestions or medical advice. Like, this is not medical advice. Please do your own research. This is just really sharing from my own personal experience and what I know, what I've received as information. Okay, so Bone Nutrient Complex really is, to support your bone health, because over time, really what happens, to a lot of women, especially if they've been exposed to high levels of estrogen, what they found is that the bone density actually decreases really quickly. Okay, so this complex is really to support women on their journey there. Of course, there's other supplements that you can look into as well. But bone nutrient complex really is supportive of that. Then we have a phytoestrogen, and this one is really, really beautiful. I have to say I've taken it quite often, and it just works like through the things that I've shared with you about phytoestrogens before. But also, again, you can use this at any age, so any menstrual age or post menstrual, perimenopause, menopause, like all ages you can use them. There's different guidelines on how many capsules to take a day. You can also just ask me directly if you have any more specific questions around this, but on the bottles it will say how to take it. Okay, right. Mood regulation and hormonal and emotional balance. This is really one of the big topics, I feel. And this is really where essential oils are my personal favorite way to use, is actually for my emotions. Okay, so here I put you, I've given you the emotional wheel. This is also on one of the kits that doTERRA has, which is the aromatic kit, which includes 6 different oils that have actually been completely developed with the information and the science backing this emotional wheel. But I've also added some very specifically important essential oils to support your feminine hormonal balance. Okay, so peppermint, spearmint, this is really amazing. The way I've used this is before menstruation, I sometimes have headaches, and that's usually because so you have to remember that hormones also regulate our temperature in the body. Okay, so this is why in menopause and perimenopause we can experience hot flushes and things like this. So peppermint and spearmint really help to reduce and to they're basically adaptogens, so they help the body pull the temperature back into balance. Okay, so when I'm doing when I'm about to have my moon and I'm experiencing headaches, it's usually because my body temperature has risen a little too quickly and it's needing to just recalibrate, and peppermint can really help me to bring down my body temperature. Okay, you have hair, deep blue is amazing. That's the one that I use when I have heavy cramps, for example, to really relax my lower back or any kind of back pain that I might have, and even cramps as well for that one. Then I gave you some florals, so I'm going to talk more about florals in a moment, but really these are my favorites, like geranium, lavender, rose, jasmine, melissa, ylang ylang, whisper, and serenity. Those are some beautiful brands, especially serenity, which actually helps with sleep. So if your adrenal glands are on supercharged because your hormonal balance is out of whack, serenity is really going to help calm the adrenal glands and help you stop that over production of cortisol, and allow you to actually have a better sleep. And it also exists in capsules. Then you have patchouli, sandalwood, cedarwood, all the woody essential oils really help with grounding you, with bringing you down, and also with everything that is sensual and sexual health. Okay, so patchouli specifically is a really beautiful oil to stimulate your sexual well-being. Then we have all the citrus oils. So I had a whole class about citrus oil last month. Please go and rewatch the replay for that one. The one that I do want to talk about though is bergamot, because bergamot really has been in many studies and case studies for depressive moods. So it really supports you with that. And actually, spiritually speaking, bergamot is the oil of self-acceptance. So it really helps us to navigate these difficult moments as women. And I've had, really beautiful experiences with bergamot. Then all the spices, this is all, again, stimulating our sensuality, stimulating our sexual, and just it basically brings you out, it kind of livens up your energy, and it brings up your energy to a level of just joy, excitement, right? So you have beautiful oils like cinnamon, for example, ginger, clove. On Guard is one of my absolute favorites, especially in the winter when I'm kind of like feeling a little low, moody. On Guard really picks me up. There's also cheer that includes quite a few spices. So there's many of them, but these would be like the ones that I feel would be the most beneficial for feminine household. Then you have herbs and grasses. So these are really more like refreshing and bringing in, a different kind of feel, right? So you have things like lemongrass, which also is a really beautiful meal relaxant. So if you're experiencing a lot of stress states and things like that, like lemongrass is amazing. Oregano and thyme are more supportive for your immune function. And balance is also a really beautiful one to pick up your mood and to support you with, especially like the highs and the lows that we can sometimes experience. Balance really comes in more like a steady, like for those of you who are more into spirituality, like divine masculine, okay? And also these are all more masculine, right? So the trees, the herbs, and the spices are more masculine, whereas the other ones will be more feminine, yeah? So again, like I'll just let you play with those. Okay, this is one of my absolute favorite blends. Whisper, the blend for women. So I've already talked about some of these oils now, but it really is like such a beautiful blend for women. It smells like candy. I absolutely love the smell of this, and I love to use it as my personal perfume. And how amazing it is, because when you're using essential oils, and especially the doTERRA essential oils, because I absolutely trust them and I know that they have no pesticides. I know that I can be wearing a perfume that is just really so gorgeous and lush and makes me feel amazing as a woman, and it also has just this really beneficial way of calming my my hormonal balance. Geranium and breast health. Okay, let's talk a little bit about geranium. Geranium is actually the oil of love, and specifically like to deal with grief. Okay, so this is really my own personal research on breast health. Our breasts are really the portal through which we offer ourselves into the world. If we have a lot of blockages, or that we feel that we have given too much and we didn't receive enough, right? That will usually be felt in, around our chest area. So also if you're working with de-armoring our body and opening ourselves up to love, it's so important for us to actually have a powerful relationship with our breasts. And I personally love to use the geranium oil to offer myself a massage, like a breast massage. And also geranium really helps me with opening my heart. And I had such a powerful experience where once I shared geranium with a beautiful woman in my surroundings, and I basically just sent her geranium. I had no idea what she was going through. I just sent her a little sample of geranium, and a few weeks later, she said to me, "Lizzie, like geranium has really been incredible, because literally that same week you send it to me, my grandmother passed away. And every time I was smelling this oil, I could overcome the grief that I was feeling about her passing. And I will always remember this, because she was crying on the phone to me. And it was just so emotional. And I was literally just thinking, why did I send her this oil? Like, I had no idea what she was going through. We had not chatted for months, and I had no idea that her grandmother wasn't well. And so it's like intuitively I felt to send her geranium. And so it really was like what she reported that back to me. And then I went to read in the book what actually geranium meant spiritually. And then I was just flabbergasted that that was exactly the oil that she needed. Okay. So really beautiful heart opener, and it's just such a beautiful feminine floral oil. In the beginning, I found it quite strong, but now I love it so much. It's one of my favorites, and I love to use it as personal perfume as well. So my favorite feminine essential oils, these are my personal favorites. Like, I'm literally just offering you my favorites. There's many, many more. But I always love to teach from embodiment and from what I know to be true. So Passion, this is my absolute favorite perfume, like ever. It's always in my handbag. I love this. The smell is amazing. Again, it's a bit like Whisper, but it's a little sweeter and more spicy. And it's really, it has this incredibly like voluptuous aroma. And it just, you know, it actually is the oil of passion, also very good to support you with sensual and sexual health. Just a really beautiful, beautiful blend. And it is included in the aromatic kit. Melissa, this is the oil of light, a really beautiful feminine oil, especially if you are really like sort of pushing through, you know, your boundaries of being becoming visible, your boundaries of becoming self-expressed. Melissa can really support you on this. And also for breast health, Melissa is incredible. I also use that one sometimes for breast massages. It's a beautiful oil also to balance your feminine hormonal household. You know, it has like all these floral, like most of the flowers really are, feminine oils. They support us with that. Helichrysum, again, also one of my favorite flowery oils, really amazing for me personally when, you know, with pain management. So I experienced an abortion in 2016, and I remember that Helichrysum, I just have such an intimate, I have such an intimate relationship with this oil because it was, I can't explain it actually. Like some of these oils I just love, but I like with Helichrysum, it really is such a deeply soothing oil. And Helichrysum to me, I know that myrrh is actually the oil of the mother, but to me, Helichrysum is like the supportive mother, right? Spiritually, emotionally. Even when I'm smelling it, it's very strong. It's like very invigorating. And it's just incredibly powerful for, you know, post-birth specifically as well. So women who have had birth trauma and things like that. Very beautiful oil for cell renewal. It's just incredible. Clary Sage, again, very powerful third eye opener. Also, Clary Sage is a beautiful support system for everything that is feminine hormones, because it really supports your body in a very gentle way. It's also included in the blend of the women's kit. So not the oil, but the blend, Clary Calm, includes Clary Sage. Clary Sage really is a beautiful oil to tap into our feminine wisdom. Jasmine and rose, you probably have had smells of them. I hope you did. Jasmine is absolutely gorgeous, as well as rose as well. These are very beautiful, powerful oils to connect you with your feminine essence. And especially for, you know, everything that is connected with your sensuality, like, you know, having a bath with, you know, some rose oil is just divine, right? Like even rose petals, if you're smelling those flowers already, like they are so elevating and uplifting, right? So again, these, like those roller bottles are my favorites for personal perfumes. I have them, you know, one of them is always in my bag. Mostly it's passion at the moment, but it kind of changes. Yeah. Another one that I loved so much on my journey here as a woman is Citrus Bliss. So this is the oil of creativity. It has a beautiful blend like of citrus oils, but also, you know, the vanilla bean extract. It really is very prominent in that one. It's just overall a happy oil. It's one of those moods, you know, pick me up and let's have some fun. Like that's really what Citrus Bliss comes in for me as. Some other products that you can find in the doTERRA range that I really wanted to share with you are, like all the skincare products. So Virage is one of them. They also have an anti-aging kit. They have the HD Clear. This is really beautiful to support, like young women or women who have skin conditions such as, you know, acne or, you know, having those little spots. So this is really a whole cleansing kit. And it also includes one of them, like Howood, which is a very powerful oil to restructure your skin system. And it smells amazing. Like my dad uses it as a perfume. So every time he puts it, I'm like, Dad, let me smell you for the next hour, please. I really, really love it. So yeah, black cumin and Howood, those two are very powerful cell renewal essential oils that really help your cells to just renew themselves. Melaleuca is a powerful anti-inflammatory. So as well as eucalyptus, geranium here again. Geranium also has a very powerful effect on cell renewal and, you know, like the rejuvenation aspect of things. So here we have Salubelle, which was formerly called Immortelle. So again, you have a really beautiful connection here with some of the oils that we've already talked about. You will also receive the PDF of this slide at the end, so you can read more into detail. But again, here you can see like rose, this is one of the powerful cell renewal oils, very beautiful for the skin. Again, helichrysum as well. Helichrysum is a really incredible flower because it dries up and it will keep this golden color afterwards. And actually like I met a Greek lady on one of my travels, and you know, she was like in an apothecary, so it's like this really beautiful herbal medicine shop, and they had all these flowers, and she was basically saying that like helichrysum in Greek, I believe, means golden, like gold, like liquid gold or something like this. And I told her, oh my gosh, that's one of my absolute favorite essential oils. And she actually confirmed to me that helichrysum is one of the most powerful flowers, also to create teas and things like that. So it's very beautiful. Myrrh as well, powerful oil for the skin. Lavender, very soothing. Sandalwood and frankincense. There's other classes that I will talk to you more about. Frankincense specifically. Those are really, really beautiful. It's a beautiful blend. You can apply it directly on your skin. Some people say it's a little too much. So I would recommend diluting it because it's a very powerful blend and you really don't need much. You need just a couple of like dabs and literally apply it, or you put a little drop on your hand and add your facial lotion onto it. Okay, this one I added in literally 5 minutes before it came live. I'm like, how did I not even how did I forget about yarrow pom? Yarrow pom is a blend between yarrow and pomegranate oil. So this duo is like a powerful antioxidant. So it really supports you with all that is related with feminine health, truly. Like you can also take it internally. Yarrow is one of the most powerful plants that you can find. So even, you know, in herboristeries and herbal ladies, you will be able to tell me like what yarrow is such an incredible plant for feminine hormonal balance. It's beautiful to support your skin renewal. It's like there's been so many studies that have been done on how yarrow is really supportive of bringing that homeostasis back into the feminine body when there's, you know, this upheaval of hormone flushing through the body. It really brings that in, and it also stimulates, you know, especially, you know, for women with fertility issues, it actually stimulates progesterone production and many other things, right, to really regulate. It's like an overall miracle, this oil. I personally love to use it in my daily skincare routine. I know, Lindsay, you're totally into the gua sha and like rollers over your face, and like, so yarrow pom is like a beautiful oil. It's actually very deep blue. It's like literally blue, like, you know, like a royal blue, deep blue, and it kind of disappears into the skin. It's just amazing, and it smells. It has a very particular smell. And then the pomegranate seed oil really is a powerful antioxidant. So this is really like when we're talking about antioxidants, and you know, those are the ones that really take care of free radicals in the body, that reduce stress overload, that reduce chemical load, that really support the body with rejuvenating and replenishing the cells with goodness. Okay, so then we also have a whole range on hair care. So I didn't talk too much about shampoos and such today, but you have to know that shampoos, especially like shampoos that you buy out in the supermarkets, will have SLS. So SLS is really one of the most toxic things you can find in shampoos, unfortunately, and it really can affect the hair with, you know, brittling the hair, making it dry. And, you know, over time also it just, you know, those silicons and, you know, those particles actually stay in the hair. They don't come out right away. So when I started to, you know, deal with doTERRA essential oils, I met one lady who was actually a hairdresser, and she said that she has never had such powerful products of out of all of them. Like, she was a hairdresser for, she had a whole, like, she had, I think, 2 or 3 hair salons in London back then. And she said to us, like, please use those products. They are incredible. Like, because they basically remove the silicons that are, you know, that fester onto your hair from, you know, other products. And over time they remove them and your hair becomes, you know, luminous and shiny again. And I also use their soothing conditioner as a leave-in conditioner. They have some other products like the Roots Tip Serum. They have the Healthy Hold Glaze. There's many, you know, these 4 products, you know, you can buy them together as a kit, or you can just buy them separately as well. And then I also left you some ideas on how to use pure essential oils, you know, to support your hair, right? To support hair growth, to support hair dryness, to support yeah, like the fragility of the hair. If your hair is greasy or oily, right, you can literally add them into the shampoo, or you can you know, massage your scalp. You can leave it overnight with a mask. It's really up to you to, yeah, to use these beautiful oils. So then there's also another range of products that is interesting, which is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I will have to create a whole class on the Lifelong Vitality Pack because it's just so big. But basically, when we're talking about having the right nutrients and having the right, yeah, the right things in our body, like the Lifelong Vitality Pack is really one of the products that has like a wide scale. So you have the nutrients, which like the food nutrient complex, which is the vitamins and minerals. You have the essential oil omega complex, which is all about omegas. And then you have the cellular vitality complex. So this is all antioxidants and everything that is stimulation of the like the metabolism of your cells, so that, and the mitochondrial energy stimulation as well. So there's a lot of things that I would need to dive into. This definitely needs to be for another class where we'll talk maybe more about diet and how to support a diet with essential oils. So precautions, really, there's not many precautions with most of the oils that I talked to you about. Please go and watch the class on citrus essential oils. There's some precautions there. You can just go watch the part on precautions in the other class. But other than that, I would just really say take it easy, go less. Like, less is always more with essential oils, because really you want to tap into the frequency, not just the you know, the quantity of the oils, but also the frequency, especially when it's with you know, mood regulation and hormonal balance. You really don't need that much, right? And really applying the oil maybe on a small surface of your skin, see how you go with it. You know, you can always use the carrier oil as well, especially on the face. I would always recommend to use carrier oils. Of course, if you're using the products, then that's a whole different thing, because those would be paraben free. They are already, you know, completely managed. But for example, you know, just be careful with some of the oils, like don't put cinnamon on your skin right away. It would be just way too much. There's just some oils that you have to be mindful of, but most of them, like especially the flowery oils, are usually very gentle and very subtle. They shouldn't cause too many reactions or anything like this. Oh my goodness, we're complete. We're going into questions and shares. So I'm going to open up the circle so that we can have a chat all together. So let me just stop my screen share here. Did you take notes? Was it interesting? Was there anything? Did you have any questions? Just going to tune into the chat box to see if there's anything here. My goodness. Oh my goodness, this chat box was fun. Let me see. So you can just hop in and Yes, nail polish, Laura. Exactly. Nail polish is definitely one of the the interrupters, makeup, sunscreens, hair removal, shampoos, deodorant. Oh my goodness, you're a pro. Lindsay saying, I love geranium. We'll try the breast massage with it. I wonder, is it also good for skin health? Yes, it is. Geranium is like one of the most beautiful, beautiful oils for skincare. Geranium is amazing for skin health. Yes, Malka. Thank you. Malka saying, my grandmother passed away in February. I'm going to add geranium to my wish list. Oh, goodness. Yes, yes. I hope it will support you in this way as well. Lindsay just started using Virage. How are you doing with it? With Virage?
I'm loving it. I mean, I'm just on my, I think, second or third day using it in the morning, and then I use the Yarrow Palm at night. And I mean, I'm just loving having a new routine because I wasn't really having much of a morning skin routine. So I have a whole, collection of it, and it just feels really good. And then afterwards, I do have a question about sunscreen. I may need to look at my product to see what I have, but I use another facial sunscreen because I'm teaching yoga outside a lot right now. But I use a company called Angelou Naturals.
Yeah,
And
some companies will be completely natural and they have no parabens or anything like this.
yeah, so I use that afterwards for the sunscreen, and I use my jade roller afterwards to just like smooth everything in. And just loving the face wash. The Immortelle serum is just beautiful. I've been so excited to try it for so long, and I'm just, in this phase in my life where I'm really wanting to take care of my skin and also from the inside out. So I got the entire Yarrow Palm collection. I'm also taking the supplements internally, and just, yeah, looking forward to seeing how it supports my feminine health, my metabolic health, and all the other benefits that comes along with it.
I love this. And you're so lucky, Lindsay, because you have all these other products in the US, which we don't get here in Europe. I might have to run an order through your account at some point.
Yes, no
You
problem.
can send it to me because those Yarrow Palm capsules don't actually exist in the market here. We only have the serum, and we have the the whole body, the body oil. Yeah, we have those two. But I've seen that in the US market you have other products, which is always like this, and then they come to Europe. Maybe in the summer we'll have them too. Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have a question about the hair, the lavender with like the coconut oil. Would you recommend doing that like from the scalp down, or just like on the dry ends of the hair? Because my hair tends to be dry. So like before shampooing, or as a leave-in.
Yes, I mean, I would maybe try like an overnight mask.
Okay.
To put it like on your ends with coconut oil or any other oil that you use. I've heard some miracles with castor oil as well.
Okay.
Some women who have used castor oil, but it's like it's a very thick oil, so it might be difficult to kind of apply. Maybe you have to like put it on, like have hot water or something, and then yeah, that's how I would use it. If it's for dry hair, I wouldn't apply it necessarily on the scalp. No.
Okay, so ends. Okay, great. Thank you.
But for dandruff, like anything that would be dandruff, that's something you can you can apply that on the scalp directly, I would say. Yeah, great question.
I have a few things to say. By the way, Lindsay, or I mean, just in general, tea tree oil is really good for dandruff and for lice too. I know it's not, you don't want to hear that word at all in regards to our hair, but I think tea tree, and I forget the other one, or I'll have to look it up, but tea tree is really good to get rid of the eggs and before.
Yeah. Generally for like tea tree melaleuca.
Yes.
Is generally like an anti-insect, like it repels insects.
Yeah. Also, regarding the sunscreen, I don't know if you guys know of the EWG health website.
Ooh.
Have you heard of it? I'll
No.
have to share the link. Maybe I can go to share it in your Facebook page, or I can share it in your Instagram. I can
Yeah,
send you a
maybe.
message through Instagram. But the EWG Health website has a bunch of these kinds of things regarding the death of bees. It has a list of sunscreens that are completely chemical like free, like what you
That's
talked
amazing.
about. So it has like a list of them that I've saved, I bookmarked somewhere, so I can share that with you. And it has like the clean sevens and the dirty dozen regarding fruits and vegetables, regarding pesticides and insecticides and all that. So it's a really amazing font of information regarding all these kinds of health issues and chemicals and toxins in our house and the air and all that kind of thing. So I can share that link with Elizabeth and Lindsay, and Flora and Leah. Leah?
Leah.
Leah. I love that. Okay, Leah, beautiful name. So yes, we can all share it. Or maybe I don't know, maybe if in your website, do you have like a group chat somewhere?
Yes, you can also drop it in the WhatsApp group. So I've opened the WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
ladies, if you want to join that. So once you actually add yourself to the online school and you enroll into the Essential Women's Circle, with all the replays, is going to be one little tag or like one little like bracket inside the course where it's a WhatsApp group, and you can just hop in there and introduce yourselves, and then we can just roll from there.
Yeah. Okay. So I just have a quick question.
Yes, go for it.
Or I don't know if it's a quick question or not. I get this like back and forth on tofu. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Tofu.
Yes, because I'm a vegan and I have a really hard time finding food that fills me up and is satisfying, because I'm also trying to start going away from processed foods, and I want to start being able to make my own like burgers and my own food without having to buy it at the store, even the health food store, which is supposed to be a little bit healthier, but it's still processed.
Yeah, I mean, tofu in general is going to be processed, right? It's going to be difficult to have it not processed unless you would make your own, and that's like very difficult
Yeah.
to make. But I know that there's some brands for sure. I don't know, maybe the ladies know any of the brands that that would probably be less processed. Maybe just do your own research. I mean, it kind of like goes beyond today's topic, so I don't I actually don't have like a straight answer to this.
Okay.
You probably have to do your own research and just really make sure that they like fermented tofu or fermented soy is always better than non-fermented, let's say, because fermented will basically already have the whole way of it sustaining itself without needing any additives.
Okay, and then the second part to that question is, I heard something about like women shouldn't take it because of the phytoestrogen, like of estrogen or something, like it raises the levels up or something, like I don't know.
Yes, exactly. So that would be the processed tofu.
Okay.
So the heavily processed tofu, where they would add all of that, you want to avoid those that kind of soy. So it's a bit like what I said in the class. If you have, soya beans that are, sprouted by yourself, no problem. But everything that is, heavily processed, just soya milk, soya yogurt, like all the soy derivatives, I would just
like stay,
big bow around it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Or supplement on phytoestrogens to support, those things being flushed out. But to be fair with you, I avoid soya altogether. I know it's a good protein source, but there's other protein
I mean,
sources.
I have avocado, nuts, beans, seeds.
Yeah, exactly. There's many ways to get around.
Yeah, there is. Okay, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I had like, maybe I can jump on the soya. Do you have any local organic like a production? I don't know where you're living actually.
I live in Israel.
Oh, yeah.
So I do actually, my cousin, I'll have to ask her. I think she actually does buy it from somebody who makes it once a week, and she buys it like a huge block. But I'm only one person, so I'll have to, that's a great idea. Actually, I just popped into my head. So I'll have to ask my cousin if the person she buys it from makes it herself. And then that would be a great source of getting
Yeah.
my tofu once in a while to make like my Asian dishes, or to find
Yeah,
something that's
absolutely.
filling. Okay, thank you, Leah.
Okay, anything else related to the class that you enjoyed? Otherwise, we're just going to go into our 3 big takeaways. What are you taking away from? If you don't have any more questions, I'd like everyone to, yeah, just come in and tell me what they love the most.
So I actually have a question. So so Lizzie, you know, but yeah, so I'm back on the pill because I have endometriosis and I had a big operation, and I tried it half year without taking hormones, but let's say it like this, it nearly killed me basically. So I know I need to stick for it for right now until I want to get pregnant one day. Let's see that is possible. I hope so. So what would you suggest to do in my situation, because I don't have a cycle in that sense?
Yeah. So I would definitely focus on supporting your liver as much as possible, and making sure that your liver and your detoxification system, aka digestive system, is actually fully taken care of and supported. So you can use essential oils. There's also some herbs that you can use as well. That would be amazing. But really, yeah, just focusing on detoxing as much as possible, and supporting your body with healthy foods, like avoiding sugars, avoiding things that would create toxic load on your body, making sure you get enough rest, right? So that you really take care of everything as much as you can. That's really, what I would lovingly say would be the best to do in this case.
All right, thank you.
But I think it's something that you already know anyway, so
Yeah, that's true. But
so some oils to work with would be, lemon, for example, in the morning, making sure that, yeah, you just have your nutrients, that, that they are regulated, that you, yeah, maybe work with a specialist as well, yeah, who can help you with other support systems that might be that, I might not even know about. But I do believe that we can support our bodies in all different ways.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And if you need any more like ideas on which oils to use, etc., we can just book a session together without a problem.
Yes, that would be great.
Okay, let's get into our celebrations.
I'll go. So let's see, my biggest takeaways, kind of I've already said, but using geranium and melissa for breast massage. I have been using the yarrow palm, but I really want to get more into this like sensual nature, especially since I've been in your woman retreat and doing the breast massage. And I have scars on my breast that I'm trying to heal from some skin that I had removed. So they're healing really nicely with the help of doTERRA products. And I'm just really want to take it to the next level.
I would add some, sorry, Lindsay, I would add some frankincense in there as well if you have it.
Well, I've also been using the Correct X, which I think has frankincense in it. So and maybe some helichrysum as well.
Yeah, Correct X is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I just got a fresh new tube that I brought with me here to St. Lucia. So like when I run out, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep using it forever. Yeah, using the lavender with the coconut oil for my hair. And then I just have a huge list of oils that I want to order now from this presentation. I mean, and I even want to make some orders for my family. I want to get the Virage skincare system for my mom and my sister, get them off of Rodan and Fields, because I know it is just so full of toxins and not making their skin any better. They just have breakouts all the time. And since, I mean, this isn't doTERRA related, but I started using Angelo Naturals rose oil years ago, and I really barely ever get breakouts on my skin anymore since I started using an oil or serums on my skin that have been all natural. And I
Yeah.
really would like to give this gift to my family. So these are my takeaways from the call.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Lindsay. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Come on, ladies, jump in.
I will go on.
Yes, Leah. How
Mm,
are you, my dear?
I'm having an interesting time. Maybe would be like a time for a call
Okay.
together. But no, I'm fine. I'm let's say that I'm getting better. Actually, the first thing that really pops up is like getting luxurious with myself.
Mm.
And all this presentation really makes me feel like, man, like, you know, you just can step with like into luxury for yourself. And this like makes me feel calmer and more beautiful and more feminine. This would be the first one.
Oh, I think you got broken up there.
Also on my body or on my skin. And
Leah, I
I
think
started to, oh,
Leah, we just missed what you just said. So after the luxury, what was your second point? Because
yeah,
there was like a it broke
sorry,
up.
my internet is not maybe not so stable. The geranium, like my mom actually bought it not from doTERRA. I think I'm gonna try also more product from doTERRA. It's really tempting to buy like all the things. But geranium really like inspires me also with the breast massage and to be more connected with my breast, because I think it's always like confronting me to my own judgment about them and like not feeling them big enough, or like, you know, all these like little traumas that are connected to it. I was lost, or maybe again. Yeah. And the third one will be, I've already started to create my own washing product for my clothes, but I definitely want to try with also doTERRA or which recipes they propose me. Yeah.
There is a book if you ever wanted to like get into the recipes, and if you actually, for all the women who join through me, I actually offer you that as a gift with which is the Essential Life book.
Wow.
And here you have, it's an amazing book, and here you have all like you have a bunch of recipes at the back. I can't find it now, it's so big. Like you have food recipes, but they also have like cleaning product recipes. You have deodorants, you can make your own, I mean, car wash. You can make all kinds of things. They have it all in there. Seriously, there's I think there's like a car glass washer or something that they put in there. It's just so funny. So yeah, it's also for men, it's not just for women. So yeah, like if you were to consider to like become a doTERRA member through me, Leah, and we open up your account, you'll get it as a free gift from me. Mon cadeau. So it's a beautiful, beautiful book because it's also completely illustrated, has incredible ideas, very good information, and also an amazing support because you can literally look up, you know, any ailments and conditions or diseases or, you know, different bodily functions. And then it literally gives you a whole list of which essential oils to use, right? So from, I don't know, menopause to conditions like endometriosis to you know, heart conditions to moods to all kinds of things. It's all it's a very, very like it's very complete in that sense, very wholesome. I see Malka is just like nodding. She's a fan. And for the luxury aspect, yes, it's a frequency upgrade. Like, and it's not just a frequency upgrade in terms of the frequency you get with the products and the oils, because you'll literally be lathering yourself with the highest, most precious, beautiful products, but it's also conditioning in your mind. And I know that back then when I invested in doTERRA, I was like a broke dancer, and it was like my monthly order was going through every single month. Like it was just my way of feeling powerful and feeling beautiful and taking care of myself, you know, from the inside out, is so beautifully said. And I support that. You know, you get the Rolls-Royce class, Ferrari style, Jaguar style, you go first class, right? We go first class with everything. And yeah, you'll see the essential oils will be just such beautiful companions on your journeys. I mean, you've already experienced them anyway, so you know, it's not the first time. But I feel that it's also one of the things that we have to step into as women, especially today, right? To really step into, like, I am worthy of receiving divine self-care, divine compensation for my work. Everything is divine and high quality. So if you literally have this, reminder every day, every time you drop in your frankincense in there, you know, well, that's like, I don't know, 20, like 50p a drop. It's fine. Like, I'm worth it. You know, it just creates this beautiful, luxurious frequency in our lives. And I love that you're aware of this, and I celebrate it, and I love you.
Love you too.
Leah is one of my she's actually one of my best friends. We met dancing. Yeah, we've known each other for many years. Yes, beautiful. Malka, my darling, in you go. What are your 3 big takeaways?
I've been trying to remember things, and they're slowly coming back. There is so much information to take in that I did know already, and that what the tap water was new for me. Somebody was just telling me about, like, not to drink the tap water, but you brought like a new interesting point about it. So that is really scary. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to clean my water and get filtered water. Yeah, all the xenoestrogens and stuff. Is that how you pronounce it? Xenoestrogen? Yeah, all that is like super scary. Most of the products, like most of the lists, or most of the things that you listed, I knew about, but that was something new, the tap water, and just how it affects you. I've been learning about the liver the whole week. My team leader, one of my team leaders in my upline, just has been posting a series on foundational healing through doTERRA. And this topic, she posts them every Sunday on her YouTube channel. And this Sunday was the liver, like everything about the liver. So, and then I don't know if you guys have heard of Dr. Marisa Snyder. She's pretty popular in the doTERRA fields, and she has a website. And they have a essential oil summit every year. Mm-hmm. And she talks a lot about what you talk about, which is basically essential oils to support the female health system. And so she just posted on her essential oil summit a link about of her podcast on the liver, on liver health. And then you just mentioned the liver. So I feel like the universe is telling me liver, that I need to do a detox and I need to focus on my liver. And especially since I've been dealing with a bunch of health issues that I sort of mentioned earlier. So so the liver was the second one. What was the third one? I think that's somewhere all in there. You brought in so much amazing information, and it's so appreciated. So, I mean, those are my 2 main takeaways. And
Yay!
so, yeah.
So happy. Thank you, Malka. Yes,
you're welcome.
Yes. The liver is our friend, and we need to take care of her for sure.
Yes.
And you just reminded me, we have a convention coming up in Europe. If any of you wanted to join that, it's going to be in Budapest in June, mid-June, I believe, the weekend of the 16th. I will probably go because I love the conventions. They are so informative. It's literally like 3 full packed days of information hosted by, you know, the doTERRA founders, and also Emily Wright, who is one of the CEO, one of the CEOs of doTERRA, is going to be here in Europe, and she is incredible. That woman knows so much, and she's one of my idols in with doTERRA. Like, she's been so inspirational on my journey, and I can't wait to see her on stage. So I'm going to be going. So if any of you feel like going, I mean, Lindsay, you have the US convention, which is huge, usually in September. So if that pulls you, that would be definitely an amazing event to get to. But as we have one here in Europe now after the whole pandemic, it'd be amazing to take any of you ladies there. It would be so cool. Laura, do you want to share your takeaways?
Yes, so maybe I share first something with Malka, because when I was last year like looking into how can I treat my endometriosis without hormones, there came also up this topic of like water and having a proper filter and everything. So yeah, because this Brita filter, of course, there you have also plastic and everything, and I think this is not very economical. I have actually one. Okay, my kitchen looks really rubbish, but I share with you what I've got.
No, please.
So
we have one big filter as well, like a filter with, what is it called? It's like one of the popular ones. I'll look it up, Malcolm.
So basically, you can have like a huge sink below your sink, but
right.
Okay, this is like a huge investment.
Yes.
But I have one, which you can. Sorry for it looking like super gross in my kitchen right now. But you can actually.
Oh wow! I see you attach it. You attach it to the faucet.
Yeah, and you can basically like turn it off, then it comes out here, or you can switch it off, like when you just clean, then you have the normal tap water without being filtered. Okay. And it's like there are different brands. I tried out first one which had just like a plastic faucet, and it fall off again and again. So better put some more money into it, that you have like a I think it's like not steel but like metal one. Yeah. And then it really holds strong to it, and water tastes way better.
And then obviously you can take it with you wherever you move to. It's not like you don't have to take apart the whole filtration system underneath your sink.
Yeah, I think like I've heard a lot of podcasts where they say like, of course.
Ladies, I'm going to have to interrupt you there because we're going.
We don't have time. Okay, we'll
close the call.
Yes.
On the subject.
Take away. I need to talk. I need to talk with you about what essential oils I could use. This is my first takeaway, and second, I think I already integrated some things, and I'm trying, and I think I'm a good way. That's my second one. Yay. And my third one, it can all just get even better, you know.
I love it. Beautiful darlings, thank you so much for your time today. We had it was so beautiful to have you here. I'm so grateful, and I'll be uploading the group class as soon as we complete. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Sending you so much love, and I'll see you next month.
Thank you, Lizzie. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you, ladies.
Nice to meet you.
So much.